five simple things that we're going to be speaking about if you plan to buy a new home this year. Sounds a little bit crazy, but please hear me out. As we dive into it, I want you to keep in mind that these reasons can vary from place to place depending on what the market conditions are. And I will also include an additional bonus reason later on in this video if you stay tuned. Once again, thank you for joining me, Jason Sanchez. And if you would like to enjoy this content more in the future, I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you want to learn any other strategies and tips when it comes to the home buying process. Let's dive right into it. One of the things in which we're going to keep in mind is the market conditions. Um, a lot of people have an idea, they have a desire to go and purchase a home, yet they're priced out of the market, especially past, uh, I want to say this past year, definitely this past year, especially since the interest rates have been going up and up. A lot of people are being quoted here, at least in the Las Vegas area, 7.5% on the interest, and that's if you have top credit. But for the vast majority of people, they're getting about 8%. So this definitely involves more the resale market. However, a lot of new home builders are looking to be able to take a piece of that market for anybody who wants to buy a home. And what they're doing in a lot of cases, they are trying to create a very enticing um, incentives for the many potential buyers out there who are looking for a home. I also want to say that with buying a home, many people, it may be out of reach because of the interest rates, and they might have the down payment, they might have the credit all lined up ready to pull the trigger, but those interest rates are one of those things where it's like a big obstacle for a lot of people to go buy a home. And here in Vegas, for example, there's such a low inventory of homes available on the market. I kind of guess that what's going to end up happening, um, perhaps when they start to lower those rates, um, anybody could make a guess on when that will happen. Some people say third quarter of 2024 or fourth quarter of 2024, when those rates will potentially start to drop. There will be this pent up of demand of people wanting to buy homes. How many times that we go into it where I've been asked the question, well, when is a good time to buy the home? When is a good time to buy the home? Well, whenever that you feel that you're ready to buy a home, and for your particular situation, it might fit for you. Everybody's going to be different. And I'm sorry for giving you a kind of generic answer, but everybody is going to be different in their approach when they're going to prepare to buy a home. Hopefully this year, if not next year, because you have all this pent up demand and people are waiting for those rates to drop. You also have this influx of buyers coming in, and because of the inventory that we have in the market right now, it's pretty low here in Vegas. Um, Prices probably going to go up because if it's one of those supply and demand things where if the demand is so great but the supply is so small, what happens to the prices? You guessed it, it's going to go back up, and it will shoot up pretty significant, I'd imagine, in other places in the US as well. So some people who are educated and savvy, something that I want to share with each and every one of you is the ability to kind of foresee these things and kind of plan on where we want to go from here. Many people do want to buy a home this year, especially in the slow months of real estate. Usually, the slow months in real estate is like anywhere between November, December, probably about December, all the way through January. And if you think about it, why is that the case? Simply, simply that a lot of home builders, and this goes with the car industry as well, they want to finish off their books with a an increase in business, so it looks good on top of their records or whatever it is. Though, and they want to incentivize many buyers before the year closes out, and it will probably be a really good time for a lot of the people out there looking to buy a home, wanting to secure the home first, and then perhaps waiting for the time when they do drop the rates, and then going for a refinance later on in the future so they can get a better rate later on, perhaps next year. So let's dive right into it. Sorry for taking so long in this matter, but let's dive right into it. We already mentioned that the the market conditions being number one. The next one that we're gonna to go into is the inventory. As the months start to near to the winter, deep into the winter, the inventory starts to build up. So you have the seasonal period that starts about springtime, going into summer, where it's this peak buying season. So for a lot of people, no matter where you live, for the most part, they will be getting a home in those months. There's like the peak period for home buying. Kids are out of school. It's nice and sunny. The weather is warm. You have this time to be able to make that move, make that purchase, and a lot of people have that same idea. And in the winter months, what ends up happening is the inventory starts to build up when it comes to resale homes, as well as the new home sales as well. Quite frankly, there are not a lot of people buying homes. You have the kids going back to school, kids going to college. You also have the holiday season coming up, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And a lot of people know that because of the market slows down, they're going to pull their houses that they might want to sell at this particular time and just hold off until then and save all that extra cash for perhaps Christmas shopping and whatnot, though. And the new home builders, they will be affected as well with this slow buildup of inventory. So the new home builders will indeed start to incentivize more and more as the coming months, especially into the November and especially December. Another reason why um, a new home builder may want to put a discount on it is there might be a possible promotional campaign um, to kind of like build a sense of urgency, to kind of I guess create some kind of frenzy, not quite like an aggressive frenzy, but to entice a lot of people to want to buy in that particular area, to kind of stir up excitement in a particular build of whatever whoever the home builder might be. It's like one of those things where you go to a place, you see a crowd of people, and that tends to draw a lot of people because other people who are going by and seeing what this crowd is about, they kind of want to be able to like um, be nosy about it, I guess so, and look and see. It's like, well, what's going on? What's with this crowd of people? What are they doing here? And this kind of starts to roll in and create uh, some kind of thing where people are attracted to that. They want to see what it's all about, and you know they want to be in on it as well. Another reason why, as I mentioned earlier, economic factors as well, right? So, like I said, the interest rates are a big issue, and they are expected. The Feds are expected to raise the rate one more time, and that may or may not go into perhaps the mortgage loans being increased as well. So that will create an additional factor as far as the inventory starting to grow a little bit more. Um, Another factor that might come in, the fifth one being the competition. So in Vegas in particular, you have these pockets of area scattered throughout the many parts of Vegas in which you will have these clusters of different new home builders in a particular area. Um, so, for example, um, a lot of the videos in which I have, they deal with the southwest area of Las Vegas, Southern Highlands area. So you have all these different builders that are out there: KB Homes, Richmond. You have Pulte. You have American West. So you have all these different new home builders in that particular area, and with the competition is always a good thing for the price. Um, Competition helps drive the prices in a way where, well, if that builder doesn't give a particular person clientele something that they look for, something that they want as far as the price. When it comes to incentives, design upgrades, when it comes to incentives dealing with the loan, they can always go to some other builder. And the builders, they know this, so they really want to entice people to come and buy at their property as well. And another final reason I thank you for staying with me this long is um, to have a relationship with a licensed real estate agent here in Las Vegas. Of course, in your neck of the woods, of course, that is going without saying, though. But to have a real estate agent to be able to communicate with these new home builders, what happen is anybody can go even without a real estate agent to a no home build and go in, fill out all the forms to apply for the loan and all that stuff, though. And that's fine. You can do that. Everybody has the freedom to do that, and it's a very exciting process for anybody getting into it. The advantage of having a licensed real estate agent, um, I'll give you my scenario. For example, I do um, a few videos that involve new home builders that might have some inventory, move-in ready homes, example, in which a buyer wanted to go and purchase a property, and what happened was, well, we don't really know what happened. A deal fell through for some reason or another. It might be the loan, the terms of the loan. It might be some emergency reason in which a family member has to move back because of a job or whatever it is. So you have these underlying factors that we are not quite sure why these homes they come up out of nowhere. But what's going to end up happening is these homes will end up um, being available to people like you who are looking for a home that's ready to go, and they might be listed at perhaps 700,000, and maybe the sales office team at a new home build might discount it 50, 80, 100,000, or even more, depending on the situation and depending on the urgency. So these things keep in mind. And once again, I thank you for tuning into this channel. Once again, subscribe to my channel, get updated to whatever advice, helpful tips, and I thank you for helping me grow this channel. Anyways, take care. Have a good day.